Hello, everyone. It's Rabbi Dean here in my office at Temple Emmanuel. This week has been upsetting, confusing, scary, and so I wanted to take a few moments as Shabbat arrives to speak with you, to allow us to connect and to spend some Shabbat time together because goodness knows we need it. We are having services tonight at Temple Emmanuel and tomorrow morning too as we celebrate Nate Benedict's bar mitzvah. We are doing that because the state of Arizona Health Department has not said that large gatherings need to be curtailed. So we are inviting people who choose to gather here at Temple Emmanuel for Shabbat. And we are taking some important steps to help reduce the risk of transmission. We are cleaning and disinfecting more intensely and more regularly than usual. And for that, I want to thank Stephen, Luis, and Esley for their help. We are asking people to observe social distance, to sit further apart from one another. Somehow we are going to manage not to hug and kiss one another. Kind of won't feel like Shabbat, but that's what we need to do. And the oneg is going to be a little more subdued and served in individual portions so that we're not reaching and grabbing together. The challah will be pre-sliced. Those are some of the things that we will do for the people who choose to come to the congregation. And I know that a lot of people are choosing to stay home, whether they have respiratory ailments or are older folks. They understand that it's better for them to stay home, and I respect that so deeply. So that's why I'm making this video, to allow us, wherever we are, at our home, at a loved one's home, later tonight at synagogue, to have some Shabbat time. So in just a moment, I'm going to light these Shabbat candles. If you have candles at home, let me encourage you to pause the video and go get them. There is nothing more beautiful and inspiring and delightful than looking at candles dance. So perhaps take a moment now to get them. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת. Let me invite you to plant your feet on the floor and your hands on your legs and to sit up straight as possible. This is a good opportunity to take some deep breaths, to slow ourselves down right now because goodness knows we need it. To breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. To breathe in goodness. To breathe out concern. To breathe in light. To breathe out worry. This is a good time to ask the angels to be with us, to bring their blessings of peace and goodness and joy and rest to us on this Shabbat. I hope you'll sing with me. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Talmud tells the story of the great Rabbi Hillel, who was walking through the streets of his city with all his disciples gathered around him. And they asked him, Rabbi, where are you going? And he said, I am going to the bathhouse to bathe. And they were surprised by this. After all, the bathhouse is a Roman institution. And he said to them, see the statue of the king there on the theater and there at the circus? There is a person whose job it is to scrub and wash the statue of the king. If that is true for a mere mortal, how much the more so for God? My body is a replication in miniature of God. I have an obligation to keep it clean and healthy. I have an obligation to take care of it. So I am heading to the bathhouse now to look after my own hygiene and health. It is a mitzvah. It is a value called shmirat haguf, to take care of our bodies. And so if for you that means limiting social contact, even staying home on Shabbat, then know that that is important and it is the right thing to do. It's only when we preserve our health, after all, that we are able to engage in more mitzvot and we are able to enjoy this bountiful world of ours. Let us treat our bodies well. We'll conclude in just a few moments, but before we do, let's offer the Shema, which sings of God's oneness and reminds me of humanity's oneness. It reminds me that whoever we are, rich or poor, whatever our job or race, whatever country we hail from, we are part of the human family. We support one another, we harm one another. What happens to one happens to us all. In these days of illness, we are reminded that we are deeply, deeply connected with one another. We, humanity, we are one here on earth, just as God is one in heaven. Let's sing this Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai לעולם ועד. I wish you, my family wishes you, all of Temple Emmanuel wishes you Shabbat Shalom.